Now, there is one issue noticeably missing from the governor's list of end-of-session priorities, a list he put out this week, and that is clean water. The PFOA crisis in Hoosick Falls and other local communities has really been on top of mind for so many, so why no action at the end of the session? Our Capitol reporter Kimberly Howard took that question to the governor's office and to local lawmakers. She is live now at our Capitol Bureau. I know the local lawmakers and a lot of local people are not going to like the answer.
Yeah, Greg, most lawmakers agree that the water crisis in Hoosick Falls should be a top priority, but it's just really a matter of how that top priority is tackled.
A lot of smoke and mirrors in that list of priorities, but Hoosick Falls is the #1 thing that I want to talk about.
One thing that's not included on Governor Cuomo's list of end-of-session priorities.
The statute of limitations bill that was brought up yesterday in a press conference is an important bill.
A bill that would extend the statute of limitations for people seeking compensation for certain medical expenses after the community has been declared a state Superfund site.
That would allow people who perhaps were sick 10 years ago to be able to have their statute of limitations begin when a site is declared.
Senator Kathy Marchione is hopeful the bill will pass the Republican-controlled Senate, even though that is not on the governor's master list. We asked Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul why water issues didn't make the cut.
Do you think that people may be finding it discouraging when there is a list included in that list is something about alcohol, selling alcohol, but then clean water is not on the list?
Well, that does not mean clean water is not being addressed.
A spokesperson for the governor's office points out the hundreds of millions of dollars in the state budget allocated for water quality improvement and upgrading infrastructure, money that will help communities like Hoosick Falls.
Hoosick Falls is certainly something that's on the governor's radar.
Several lawmakers agree that there are a lot of changes that can happen in places like Hoosick Falls that don't necessarily require passing legislation. Public hearings are one of them.
Not to point fingers, but to really have some constructive dialogue going forward.
Still, Assemblyman Steve McLaughlin says there are issues that need to be tackled through the passage of bills, even if those bills don't make it to the floor before session ends.
We should be really talking about having every community in New York State testing for PFOA. We should have ongoing blood testing of the folks in Hoosick Falls.
The gathering will be tomorrow morning that Steve McLaughlin is referencing. That will be at 11 outside the Senate chamber. We will be there. As far as those hearings, several lawmakers told me today that they hope to have them in the next few months. Senator Marchione telling me she's instead asking for a task force to figure out what went wrong and how to move forward. Live at the Capitol Bureau, Kimberly Howard, CBS 6 News.